path that connects Offa's Dyke. Right, no more talking. I'm definitely gonna get walking. So I woke this morning to the very enthusiastic sounding birds. I'm not sure I'm that enthusiastic. Mainly because I think what I'm looking forward to today is another mud fest. With the rain that we've had, and given what it was like as I was coming off the Black Mountains yesterday through the fields, that was the only time I actually fell over. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what to expect this morning, but I think mud is on the menu. Anyhow, can't complain. It's nice not to be rushing. Yeah, I mean it's 7 o'clock now and I still think I've probably got half an hour to an hour worth of tidying up my gear. It's nice to think that I can pop along to a nice loo and wash a few things up. The joys of being on a campsite. And in fact, just as a matter of interest, if the circumstances are right, in terms of if there happens to be a campsite near the point that I'm thinking about finishing. So I need to crack on, so I'll see you guys later. And I think it's just as important on a campsite to leave no trace. I always remember as a kid it was my job to check we hadn't left any tent pegs, and I'm fairly certain I'm clear on that one. Just a bit of a muddy patch there, which I guess was where I was trampling in and out of the tent. Right, hopefully all tent pegs packed. So I did mention it's 5 minutes from the campsite. We are literally going down the road here, and the trees and the houses that you can see in the distance is near where the bridge is where we turn down. So yeah, that's our next target, Kington. Not sure what kind of animal these are. There's a fair few of them around. Now maybe this is where I should have thought of camping last night. Yeah, this is the local glamping. Yeah, I can take a selfie with my friend the Offa's Dyke sign. For some reason, this one's kind of a miniature one. Anyhow, still does the same job. That way we go. Actually, that makes me think. Why are finger posts as high as they are? I'm not sure they need to be. Anyhow, yeah, this way we go. So as you can see, I've kept my waterproofs on, and I was starting to doubt if I needed them, because the reason I'm wearing them is that yesterday, every time I fell over, I was getting pretty wet and muddy. And until now, I haven't come across any more mud. It's going to be fun again. Trying to carefully tread. Oh dear. It's just so slippy. So as you can probably tell, I'm on road now, which obviously makes life a bit easier.
But that did remind me that if I wasn't videoing, I probably would have had sticks with me. And yeah, if the weather's going to be so bad, I would definitely suggest bringing walking sticks with you. It would certainly help to stabilise you through the mud. So yeah, something to think about. Meanwhile, I've got a fair bit of road to do. In fact, these roads that they bring you onto are really quaint. The only thing I've seen on the road today is the postman, and based on past experience, it'll probably stay like that. Maybe with the odd tractor. Right, onward we go. I'm stood in the middle of this road, without a fear of being run over. It's so calm and peaceful here. The sun is shining, hardly any wind. Down this track, and then before we get to that White House, we're turning and heading towards this place called Newchuch. And then we start to go up this hill on the right. Now it does say that the church is open there, tea and coffee, and I heard that you can fill up with water, etc. But I'm doing pretty okay today, so I'm not venturing in, because I know if I go in I'll take time that I haven't necessarily got. Overall, we're trying to get to Kington, 8 miles. So it's been very pleasant walking over the top of the hill here. Very green, almost like a golf links. And we know we're on the right path. We can just about read that, I think. And we're going in this direction now. Wesleyan Methodist, 1858. And the hill up there is what we're doing next. So I'm just taking a bit of a break. Found a bit of a shelter from something that no doubt some farmers left lying around. The hill over there, Hergest Ridge, and it's very exposed here, but that's my next target. Once I get to there, it's all downhill, so that's encouraging. Down into Kington. Once I've done that, it's 14.5 miles, I believe. I think I might be tempted just to crack on 2 or 3 miles, although equally I might think about grabbing something to eat whilst I'm in the town there. For now, I'm going to see how I get on. I believe over the other side of that ridge is a disused racecourse from ye ancient times, no doubt. Right, let's go discover. So you can see here again the junction of the race course. 1825 to 1880 is where when they used to hold races. I guess this must be common land, and yeah, it's fairly flat, as you can see. What I was right about it being common land. So apparently the route that we've just taken over the top was an old drover's road, and there you can see the monkey puzzle. That's where they were placed, and here you have the old racecourse, which we saw at the junctions here and here. And as it say, I'm now here, just going into Kington. I say, that's very posh. Don't think I've ever seen one as good as that. Hope it works. The only problem of going into town is then you have to climb uphill to get out of town. And I wouldn't mind, I didn't manage to get a cup of coffee or anything. Everywhere was shut. Crazy place. So yeah, stored up on some food and what have you, some snacks. So should be fine. So yeah, we have kind of like a normal landscape there. I can see a few sheep around. However, if we just look there to the right, I can see golf. I can see people playing golf. It looks so strange and out of place almost. So it's great they've got these signs here, but they don't have signs the other way around. And in fact, I think more people are likely to be coming that way than coming this way. If only I'd have known about the good food and refreshment, non-members welcome. I tried to get in a cafe and I got rejected. I was 4 minutes late. And so I've ended up eating on the hoof. But if I'd known that was there, I might have been tempted. I think that's a bit out of date now. But I love someone's done the 50 here. So you see official 50 signs. That's the first homemade one I've seen. As you can imagine, that is a very comfy seat. And in case you're wondering what the inscription says, look deep into nature and you will understand everything better. On the view, that's quite a view. Let's go deeper. So in actual fact, that line of bracken that you can see there is a bit of a rise. That is part of Offa's Dyke, and it follows the hill or the common around. However, as it says on the board, we're making a more direct route this way. But I can show you on the map. So we're here, and we're walking over to this way. The dike runs around this way. Hi folks, so end of day 4, which was really good. The mud bath didn't turn out to be as I predicted. There was a fair bit of sort of, as you saw from the video, quite high ridge walks, and it was very pleasant. I really enjoyed it, and the weather was reasonably good. There's just a few dodgy areas in terms of being a bit muddy and downhill, which is always treacherous.
I got to the place I was aiming for, which was Kington. I'm now heading over to a place called Knighton, and I've managed to find an absolute superb wild camping spot. I'll show you later. Well, tomorrow morning. Right, must get some sleep. See you in the morning, folks.
Morning, folks. Well, I think it's the start of day 5. I'm on my way to Knighton today, and I hope to get some way past it, see how far I get. Last night, whoa, rain, wind, gosh, I thought it was never going to stop. I was waiting this morning before I could get started. Yeah, I'll show you the site I actually got. I mean, I was, like I said last night, I was really pleased with what I found, particularly where I found it. Just hang on. Yeah, it's almost like I'm in a dell in a sense. I mean, once I go over the lift there, it's quite steep, and it was really steep getting up this hill. And I thought I would have to go to the very top before I found a flat part, and I still had some way to go. I just happened to glance over this particular way, and I thought I could see that the trees were fairly flat. Also, I've just spotted something else. Just hang on a sec, guys. It says no unauthorized climbing. It's all padlocked up and everything. That seat certainly looks like it's not been used for a while. Very interesting. And in fact, you can see the path I came from just down there. So the river's quite high. And apparently I'm now crossing Dolly Old Bridge because I'm going to Dolly Green. That'd be a great place to wild camp, as long as the river doesn't come any higher. It's interesting how I take it for granted where I'm walking. I think I'm on the Dyke, so that's helpful. The whole trail on one map. So obviously I started down here at Sedbury. There's Chepstow, Monmouth, and Hay-on-Wye, Kington, where I was just past last night, and it says I am here. So it turns out I'm in Wales at the moment, but it looks like I'll be crossing the border in a few miles time. Yeah, so by the end of today I must be going to be fairly close to halfway, which is good news. Across the road and away we go. So that's an interesting stone sign there. It says Offa's Dyke, made in the year 757. And we have another knitted, don't know what you call it, scarf or something, I think, with a 50 on, because as it says round here, I can just get to it. Offa's Dyke had its 50th birthday in 2021. So behind me we have the Offa's Dyke Centre, which means I'm kind of roughly halfway. So we're now going down to a riverside, not quite sure which river it is, and then to a place where I'm making camp for the night. So this is Offa's Dyke path, kind of like memorial stone. Opened here July the 10th, 1971. Interesting that it says from Preston to Sedberg Cliffs 168 miles. That means if you walked it then, you had 9 miles less to walk, because now it's 177. So the walk out of Knighton comes to this little park area, and I believe that is the river team. So we walk further down the river and then we cross over the river, and I think then we start to enter into the Shropshire Mountains. Well, I was thinking there is a welcome to Wales, but there isn't a welcome to England. However, this here does say welcome to Shropshire. And so over there is the campsite that I'm going to use. It is very much on the Offa's Dyke and just outside of Knighton. Very handy. When I arrived, they told me that the field was fairly soaked from the previous night, which, having camped through it, I can totally understand. But they offered me this instead, the Backpacker's Barn. And it literally is a barn. You can see from the outside, there's open windows and an open door. But it is a roof over my head, and it's given me opportunity to dry out my tent. You can't see it because it's, oh yep, there we go. Yeah. Tent was starting to wet out. Not sure how good it would have been another night. It certainly will be better that it dries out properly. So I've got a few things hanging up, making sure we get them dry. And this is where I'll be sleeping tonight. And apparently it's going down to -1. Ooh, not looking forward to that. However, it has got some good facilities. So, in addition, it's funny, I was thinking all the things I need are just over here. So, in actual fact, you accumulate so much rubbish, and it was good to actually have a bit of a clear out. But also, really important, I think, these days, of course, is being able to charge up on the electrics. And I'm going to be charging some of my some of my camera batteries later, which is pretty critical because that's the position I'm in. Yeah, and they have a kettle and a toaster and a microwave. What more can a man want? And then next door there is a toilet and a shower, as it happens, and all nice and clean. So there you have it. That's going to be my site for the night.